Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our new world. All the lions try to hide away from the scars we made. This is your chance to understand. We did not design this plan that was built for you. There's nothing you can do. This is my warning. This is your sign that you can't go running high. We will fight for you. You know it to be true. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our new world. All the lions try to hide away from the scars we made. From the scars we Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our new world. All the lions try to hide away from the scars we made. Welcome to
And welcome to Nerd TV for another Global Racing League Truck Series race. Brought to you by Nerd TV and the Nerditudes here. As we get started with the countdown to green, presented by Icon Apparel Company. Our long-term sponsor here. Appreciate y'all for what you do for us. And we're going to get this pre-race show underway here by showing you the weather, of course. We got to know what these trucks are going to be enduring here tonight, other than, Talladega being Talladega. We got 72 degrees. Actually pretty cool for early to mid-April setup here. 68% humidity. This can't be accurate weather at Talladega. There's just no way. Being in Alabama here this cold in April. But anyways, partly cloudy, 10-mile-an-hour winds. That could shift around some trucks a little bit. You got the turbulence from the draft. You get the turbulence from the wind. And, you could rock the boat here a little bit this evening. My name is Jeremy Stanley, a.k.a. Jay Swifty, a.k.a. the man who can't follow his partner on 2 to go. And then to my right-hand side is the guy who I tried to follow and did not succeed. This guy, Dustin Loxton, a.k.a. Ballistic. What's up, man?
Yeah. To not win and not bring the chip home, but you know what? You and I had a lot of discussions. That was probably the best teamwork at a Nerd Esports that we've ever had at a track. Led the most laps. Just things fell apart there at the tail end, and it just wasn't meant to be, But if I had to lose it to somebody, Anthony English or Peter DeBorgia definitely are two of them that I was all right, losing it to it after the initial adrenaline fall off and frustration lifted. But as you could tell, it's not affecting me now. So, well, there'll be other times. But
yeah, you got adrenaline like no other, man. But when it calms down, you stay cool, calm, and collected about it, and it was good. It was back to back. Not many people can say they can go back to back Final Four playoffs in a super speedway style racing. Each and every single week. So to be able to do that doesn't take luck. It takes skill too. So congrats on just a great season. But speaking of super speedways, Des, I know you're trying to segue into that, but I stole your segue.
You did?
Because I did. I cut you off and then I stole it. So there you go. 2 things I've stolen from you in two days. So man, we're at Talladega. We're racing Global Racing League Truck Series, over 30 entries. I think you said 33 when we hit the live button here tonight. I already see 13 viewers before qualifying even here. We still have 2 minutes left in this practice session. This is Talladega, and this hopefully will not be 23 cautions like we saw last week in Martinsville. We'll just put that one behind us, and we're going to keep trucking, Dustin, to make all the puns included.
Yeah, Martinsville is to be expected. Anybody that knows the service or knows real racing, you know what Martinsville brings. It brings close racing, dive bombs, brake checks. It brings cautions. That's all something that we're used to. But admins in the drivers' meeting tonight said, hey, gentlemen, we understand what Martinsville is. Also understand we got Bristol next week, which is another half-mile short track. And they put it out there. They said, drivers, we need to have more respect for each other. If you cannot do it clean, back it off, set it back up for the next corner. We don't want another repeat of Martinsville with 23 cautions. So admins are keeping a close eye on that. They did not like the 23 cautions that took place last week, but we know these drivers, and that's something that I spoke up in the drivers' meeting as well. I said, listen, we do what we can to sit here and call an amazing race and make you guys look better than what you already make yourselves look. It's just we wouldn't ask for anything more than what you guys can deliver, and we know that these drivers can deliver some amazingly close, long green flag run to even caution-free runs. So we know that they can do that. It's just the lineup of tracks recently. They have really played difficult for some of these drivers.
Yeah, you get all the beef set up, and you get the drivers all flushed with one another. They get a whole week to calm down, but then they have to race door-to-door with that same person they were cursing at 8 days ago, really. So we'll see if anything translates or transpires through that. So we got about 10 seconds left in this practice. All but 4 drivers have posted time in this session. So we'll see if Shane Wheeldon, EJ Luna, Kenny Heath, or Ronald Holmes posting. I'm sure he's Ronald Holmes in the session. I think he's still out with an injury, Dustin, if I'm not mistaken. It was a rib injury of some kind, I think. So
Shoulder.
Shoulder.
There's a joke to that, but it is not PG-13, so we'll leave that there. If Holmesy's watching, yeah, he'll shout it out in the chat. He knows
Dustin.
Holmesy and I go way back, so he's like my brother from another mother for sure. But yeah, he's still out with the shoulder injury. He's hoping to return sometime soon, but he still joins the sessions. That way he can watch the races live and help his Grim Reaper Motorsports teammates out as much as possible.
Dustin, you always say we're nerds of any kind, right? So you have space nerds, you have racing nerds. You can have corn nerds, that's fine, you know. Yeah. So we can talk about it as long as you self-proclaim it being a nerd topic, you know.
You're not wrong.
Send it.
Not wrong.
So there it is, man. All right, we're gonna go full screen in this qualifying session. None of us want to hear us banter about that too long, or maybe they do. Maybe our crowd likes it spicy, like the Nether Flame Sauce. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about that Nether Flame Sauce. Like, McDonald's brought the heat with that stuff.
Man. If anyone has a potion or a fry hat toy from the adult meal from McDonald's, ship it over to Dustin. He'll give you your address.
All day long. I'll cover shipping all day long. Those are the only two I need.
We have 21 viewers here. There's no way not one of those viewers has one of those two items. Post it up, ship it over to him. He'll take care of you. But speaking of burgers, what a burger on track here. Stephen Hayes in 13, fastest in practice. That's why we're on board this truck in particular, as my mouse dies, and I'm connecting it to be able to click on stuff on my screen here. Let's see what he can do on his lap.
Yeah, and Jeremy, we've covered this a time and time again. And then Ron Harrington said Holmesy joined in the wrong way. He's not racing. We kind of figured that, Ron. We knew he was still out on injury. So what he's meaning is, Holmesy, way to go. You were supposed to join as spectate, not as actually registering. You goofy guy, you. But anyway, he's still here, though. He's hanging out with the drivers and hanging out with us in the broadcast. So it's all good. It's all good. But we've covered qualifying before. Some drivers will elect to qualify, some won't. We have a lot of names that are lit up right now, meaning that they're actually out there taking time. But qualifying position can be key because a lot of the times you kind of want to be up in the front. Kind of how I was yesterday, up in the front, led the most laps. I stayed out of a lot of the issues and messes that took place. That's what a lot of these drivers are trying to do. As you see times are coming in. McCoy holds that top spot, 54.40. As, let's see where Stephen Hayes is at 54.92, but this is his second lap, Jeremy. He's going to keep that thing stuck to that yellow line all the way around. Try the best he can not to scrub any speed going off those corners down the straightaways.
And just in our race, literally yesterday, I learned how to qualify a little better. And so Daytona's different than Talladega. You can kind of hug the track more at the bottom of the back straightaway like the 13's doing now. Daytona, though, you have to, don't turn the wheel as much as you can, right? So you kind of let the truck drift up on corner exits. You're not trying to overturn and scrub speed. But Talladega is just so sweeping. You can get away with hugging that double yellow. You see the 13 doing it. He's going to go on the flat here. You would think that would scrub a little speed, but no, the shortcut is effective here on the flat on the tri-oval. To complete his lap, he's going to post the time of 54.550. Currently, he was fastest in practice, but he's 14th currently on the board in qualifying.
Yeah. Right now, Jacob Grant holds the top spot, 54.39, but look at your top three times. Jacob Grant, Patrick Gentner, and Bobby Mantle all at a 54.39. Well, now second through, correction, as they all come in. Now fourth through sixth. All had to go to at least the third or fourth decimal point. Second and third, that's Michael Lester. Jacob Grant had to go to the second or third decimal point. Mike Hayes, who we were on board with, and we've seen him take that top spot at a 54.35, Jeremy.
There we go. We got 4 different people on the YouTube chats already as we're starting to file on these final times here. 30 seconds left in qualifying. Ron Harrington saying Holmesy joined in the wrong way. You've already mentioned that, of course. Then Peter Slowick says, let's go Shane Wheeldon. the driver of the number 77 here
Currently
tonight.
slotted P11. Not a bad qualifying effort there out of the 77 camp.
Yeah, not bad. And then last week's winner, currently in the race still, Michael Thorpe Jr., saying hashtag 34 Money Mike, let's get a good QT Jr. And then Holmesy saying, let's go GRM. So there you go. 4 chats, 24 viewers before the drop of tonight's green flag. I love the viewer count. Keep on the chats. We'll stay with it. And Dustin, here in a couple seconds, these trucks will be filing in on the grid formation, and then we'll talk about it. We'll talk about who's starting where. We're going to shout out a partner first and foremost, Icon Apparel Company. We'll always talk about them. They're our biggest sponsor. That's why you see their logo everywhere. And if you're looking for top-notch quality apparel for your racing team, for a softball team, for any type of sports team, really, custom make it on the website at iconapparelcompany.com today. And here we go. Here's the grid. We're going to walk down the race. 85 laps for the Talladega Super Speedway, presented by Global Racing League Truck Series. Michael Hayes, P1. Michael Lester, pairing them up, 1 and 2. Third place, Jacob Grant. Fourth place, Patrick Gettner. Fifth place, Bobby Mantle. Sixth place, Danny White. Starting in 7th, Justin LeBlanc. 8th will be J.J. McCoy. 9th is Bradley Miner. And 10th, E.J. Luna. 11th will be Shane Wheeldon. 12th, John Howard. 13th, Stephen Knight. 14th will be Michael Thorpe Jr. 15th, Jonathan Gaston. 16th place, David Holsey. 17th, Kenny Heath. 18th, Jeff Weimer. It's Weimer. He corrected me last week.
Weimer, yes. That was corrected last week.
Yep, I got it. 19th, Mark Sherwood. 20th, Stephen Hayes. 21st, Austin McGill. 22nd, looks like a new name, Callum Belial. Bailey? We'll go Bailey. Callum Bailey. 23rd, Justin Franklin. 24th, Matthew Escalera. Also another new name. Yeah, 2 new names. I love it. And looks like we got more, too. We got Noah Tansman. Then we have 26th, Caden Bullard. 27th will be Ricky Hudgens. And then Joshua Raymond to his outside in 28th. Don Blazier in 29th. Anthony Emmerich in 30th. Raj Mangipudi in 31st. And then Ronald, you are on the grid, but you're not racing. And Chuck Cobb is going to be 32 entries in tonight's events.
Dang it, Holmesy. It's why we can't have nice things. Ah.
You know, we had a green 81 truck on the field last night. To be the caboose at tonight's field is also a green 81 truck. Let's see if you can mimic the performance from the nerds over here from yourself as we tackle 85 laps that day at Talladega.
Well, I don't hope he mimics the performance out of the 81 camp last night. I hope he betters that performance, because that meant that if he does that, he finishes 3rd in the championship points out of, I don't know, some 60 some odd drivers that were there, 80 some odd drivers that actually had points in the standings. So I wish anybody that has the 81 better luck than I had as far as my finish throughout the race. Yeah, I feel we did a fantastic job, but it it was tough. It was definitely tough. And these drivers, they have a lot. They have a lot that they have to work with. I mean, this is a big field. Draft is key. Momentum is key. We're going to talk about that. This track is wide enough to go 3 and 4 wide, depending on who is leading those lines. But you have to pick and choose and figure out which lane has got the momentum and is moving forward. It is tough to try to make that call.
Listen, you don't have a 60 in the field to follow the 81, so it's all good, my brother. Turn 3 and turn 4 here. We're going to go green flag in a quarter of a lap. Turn these guys loose. Remember, we had 23 cautions last week. These guys are trying to correct that entirely. Go caution free, hopefully. That'd be fantastic stuff. But, well, you know, super speedways will be super speedways.
And Jeremy,
you turn them loose, you never know, man. What you got on that side?
And also, we can't forget, we have our caffeine team. We got Noah Tansman and Joshua Raymond are going to be on live with us tonight. You see them. They're focused, hyper-focused in team chat, talking, getting ready for the drop of the green flag. But we'll be checking in with them throughout the race.
Why does the guy in Joey Logano gear look like he's Chase Elliott? I don't understand. Here we go. Green flag is out. Appreciate y'all too for being part of the caffeine team presented by Brez Coffee Co. Here we go. Through turns 1 and turn 2. We're already 3 wide. One truck up at the top. No help. Good night to that person as we got off the corner exit turn 2. Looked like AJ Luna is one at the top there. One below the apron. So we're going to go 4 wide as we're going to go one in the back on the top to the bottom.
I think that was planned,
here.
Jeremy. I honestly think that was planned. Oh, yeah. These drivers, especially the one that dropped below the apron, they are moving to the back, and it was EJ Luna that jumped to the high side right at the drop of the green flag. So those were definitely planned moves to get out of the main pack up there and in an area or situation that's a little bit more comfortable and controllable.
Yep, not coming to start from the pits or drop to the bottom, or on the start you can drop to the top. It's all part of the Talladega Super Speedway style racing scheme on how you want to do things. You can do the Dale Jarrett style, go to the back until 20 to go, or it can be one of like the front runners and just run up toward the front as much as you can. Try your hardest. And we're going to take our Space Panda drone cam out for a little fly here on the back straightaway for the super stretch of Talladega. And we're going to slowly just creep by these trucks at Dustin. We say slowly, but this camera right now is moving at 180 miles an hour.
Yeah, chump change, man, chump change. We bring only the best angles to everybody out there so you can see, but you see the front 6 right now, nose to tail. There is no second line, non-existent, as these guys are nose to tail. Just trying to tick laps, 85 laps, scheduled distance tonight. That does not count any green-white checkers, if we have any. But, again, you have to first make it to the end to be able to finish. So, right now, I mean, really, Jeremy, that top 15 all lined up on that inside line.
Playing the safety route here, but there's some in the back trying to get momentum on the outside. You see him way back there off the rear camera there, and I got It's Not Lame on the chat saying also thanks guys for remembering us measly cheerleaders. Well, you measly cheerleaders is what spices up the broadcast when we can talk about it. So if you have some fun, and unless you're my brother and like to poke some fun, I gladly will conversate and join in. So it's not just measly, have at it. And Michael Thorpe while driving, unless this is
That is senior
So,
rooting on junior.
Senior rooting on junior, saying let's go back to back junior. So there we go. I thought for a moment he was talking in third person, but that makes complete more sense that he's talking to son Mr. Junior up there on the track.
Absolutely. And yeah, we love you guys coming in here. You guys are what make this possible. You tuning in, having fun with us, being a part of something that is stamped in history, because once this broadcast goes down after being live, it is stored for video on demand. You guys are always locked into that, and that's what we love. But yeah, Jeremy, you are absolutely right. I love Brian, man. He's my guy, but he is a troll in that chat for sure. But somebody who's also going to be a troll right now is going to be that 22 of JJ McCoy, as he has brought that second line with a lot of help now from the 6 of Michael Lester Jr. It looks like possibly, is that Ron Howard back behind there, or is that LeBlanc that's back behind Lester there? No, that's going to be the 75 of Patrick Gittner, who had a solid qualifying run. They have brought that line of truck from about 15th place all the way up neck and neck. And actually, J.J. McCoy is going to lurch a little bit further ahead of Michael Hayes, challenging him for the lead off turn 4.
See who has the momentum. Built up the best off of turn 4. Looks like the inside number 1 Michael Hayes does have it, only by a half a truck length to 6. Michael Lester wants to kick out the 22, and when you do that, you're going to check up the outside lane because he ducked back in without the partnership. And look at that. Oh, the 89, Mr. Mantle, going to kick it to the outside because the 6 ruined the momentum on the outside and allowed someone like Bobby to slide up to the top here. And now not the Juan Deere, but the John Deere truck here is going to be leading the charge on the top.
Yeah, and that could have been due to temps as well. They had been pushing for quite some time. back there. So it definitely could have been because of temperatures. Michael Lester might have been overheating a little bit, so he had to get some air to that front nose. Remember, about 2 updates ago, they really messed with the temperatures on these trucks. So the second that your temperature gauge starts blinking, from that point on, at any time, that motor can grenade. And it is random at different times. I've seen people grenade at 267 as far as temp, and I've seen them go to 297 and grenade. It is completely random. So this is something the drivers do not take lightly when it comes to that temperature.
And we're probably not like your normal broadcasters. We're actually in these trucks and cars racing them. So we can give direct feedback, kind of like a NASCAR driver does when they hop into the Fox booth or whatnot, whenever they can, like today for the Cup Series. And I was literally pushing with under 5 laps to go last night at Daytona, and at one point I had my oil in the red and my water in the orange. When you're in the red, that means just like you said, any second that thing can pop and I'm done. So the oil, you have to duck off to the left side to cool off the oil. If you want to cool off the water, you duck out to the outside on the right to cool off the water. And but when they're both red and orange, when they're both red and orange, what do? You just maybe have to duck out of line entirely and say, hey, I'm done unless I do this, and it's going to sacrifice momentum. But they took several laps, but Dustin, look at them. Now they're back neck to neck at the front spot.
Yeah, and you were talking about water temp. If you see, look at McCoy. He drifts up about a half a truck width. He's getting air on that right side. That's telling me he is trying to control that water temp right now. Best place to do that's through the corner, just like he's doing. Cool it off, and then that way you can give that rear bumper to the truck in front of you everything you have down the straightaway. So it's a constant give and take when it comes to temperature management. You see that Jacob Grant is not entirely on the rear bumper of the one of Michael Hayes. Very same reason when it comes to that. Again, trying to control the temperature on that. You see he's kind of dipping out to the right side. Water typically is the thing that is going to overheat the fastest when you are back here, and that's because there is nothing getting to the front grill of that when you are right up on a driver. So that water is gonna sit super heat super quick.
And there's a lot of space there. The truck's third, fourth, fifth in line. Some say that the truck third in lane is the most important truck when it comes to having the lane in charge.
I can second that from last night, Jeremy, on that high side. So, you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely, and it's very complacent. It's very complacent for the third, the fourth, the fifth truck. You know what? I'm going to give a half a truck length. I'm going to keep my engine cool, and I did that a good amount last night too. But at the same token, if you give it up, that just means you have a 2-truck battle against everyone at the bottom or the top that you're going against. And so you really have to shove the nose into the second person or in front of you in line to help maintain that. But then how does the second truck cool down? It's a very back and forth, give and take style racing here tonight.
It really is. But I mean, it's very true what they say about that third truck can control what is going on with those front 2 trucks. It happened last night. We were trying to make a move on the high side. I was third in line on the high side. You were right behind me. And I finally just said, you know what? We don't have time for this. We're running out of laps. And I gave Hunter Reynolds a push and bumper locked him. And he bumper locked the truck in front of him, and not only did we get the truck leading that high side cleared, but then I kept pushing him through the corner and got him cleared, and then you and I were eventually able to clear. So that third truck in line, depending on the trust level and confidence level they have with the drivers in front of them and how smooth and steady they are, can make or break a line run.
Question on the chats, do we know what the pit window is? Well, Dustin, you have a fancy graphic, I do believe, that you can showcase everyone what this looks like.
I sure do. So,
let's take a look at it.
Open setups, 100% fuel load capacity. There's 3 sets of tires in the pits, plus the one on there. No faster pairs, 3 green-white checkers, and Lucky Dog and wave rounds are in effect. Now, what does that mean? So, 100% fuel load, you're going to get probably about 30-ish laps. Right around there is where you're going to get on a full fuel run in these trucks here at this track. So these guys are going to be able to go at least for another, I would say that pit window is going to open up in about 16 laps or so. right around there, and that's when you're going to start seeing drivers start to come in, depending on how much they're saving. Right now, Michael Hayes not saving a darn thing. He's burning more fuel than every other truck, just like Bobby Mantle is right now. But all the trucks behind them can maintain draft and save fuel, so they can actually stretch it a little longer. So I'd say your pit window probably anywhere from 26 to 30. Give you that four lap buffer.
The only way I know that because we run OP so much, and they run 45% fuel, and we pit around 14 laps in. So it's just under half, so 14 times 2 is 28, plus the extra 5%. And there you go, 28, 30-ish laps. There's the number to be had to look out for. That was a great question, Peter. Great question there. Hopefully that answered everything that you were wondering. As we're lap 13 of scheduled 85 down the back straightaway. Very cool, calm, collective start to this race. Dustin, let's go to our first picture-in-picture. We'll be right back.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful, booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair, now available. And back full screen here as we're approaching lap 17 of the scheduled 85, just past the halfway mark here before our first round of green flag pit stops. And not much action on the track, Dustin. We went to commercial break with the 1 in the 89 controlling top and bottom, and we come back in that same exact situation. So not too much changing around. The 89 almost had Michael Hayes cleared off of turn 4 in on the tri-oval, but elected to stay up top, and now the 1's back in control. And these guys are just playing the very, very patient card here in these opening laps.
Yeah, right now it's team versus team. Grim Reaper Motorsports on the top with Mantle and McCoy. You got Ghost Motorsports on the bottom with Hayes and Grant. And like you said, pit stops in about 13 laps. Like we said, that fuel run about 30 laps, and that's also going based off of C Open, which runs 100% fuel load. Ran a number of those with some of the nerdy sports drivers this week, and that was right around where we were getting. So, but again, it's a variable number, and it's all depending on the strategy that these drivers call. You could see short pits along the way, but only time will tell. But like you said, right now, still side by side, that top line, A lot of space given between the 6 of Lester and the 22 of McCoy. And you can see what that's doing right now. Everybody's tucked up nice and tight on that inside line. That high line kind of lost a little bit of momentum, but they're starting to get organized a little bit more here, Jeremy, as they go into 3.
Getting a little bit left and right on the outside lane. The inside, though, is tight and niched as they're at the mercy of the outside lane. So they just have to play their line there through the trial over here to complete lap number 18 here. The number 1 at the point, which we've seen a lot of times. These trucks like to run the outside, the second lane as like the more dominant lane, but that's usually because we're used to OP style racing, which for those who do watch that on the Wednesdays that we broadcast now, the guy on the outside gets the momentum, they get the run, they dip to the inside, they allow the guy in second lane cool off, and then they go back up. So it's a lot different than here. They're staying very stagnant in line, which is completely fine. But since there's no one getting the chance to cool off their engines, they're kind of just back and forth, all within their same lanes. So just a very, very calm opening laps here to start up this race, which, after 23 cautions last week, not a bad idea.
No, and it's I got to give hats off and props to both pushers, McCoy and Grant. These guys have been pushing these drivers here quite a bit. I also got to give props to Grant, too, for his Lightning McQueen helmet there. You can see the smile there on the helmet. But McCoy does get Bobby Mantle cleared, and that's much needed because McCoy needed that front wind open there a little bit for his temperatures there. He'd been pushing for quite a bit, and look at the push that he's getting from Lester. Clears his teammate Mantle, put Grim Reaper Motorsports with McCoy and Mantle now on the inside line, Jeremy.
They get down in front of the number 1 there. Double cleared is what that's called. And then now Michael Lester in the 6 has the lead on the outside with the 75, Patrick Gentner, who last lap was in 8th place. He's going to cross the line this time in 5th. It's up 3 spots currently, and he could go a couple more if he can get Lester up there. But he's already starting to poke his nose to the outside, which tells me he has not cooled off that truck much. And now he's got to push the 6 with a very broken up outside lane. This will not hold long here. Halfway down the back straightaway on lap 21.
Yeah, trying to get some momentum built back up after McCoy and Mantle left that top side. Now it's up to both Lester and Gentner to try to get the momentum rolling again back on that top side. You see Gentner trying to do temperature control right now, poking his nose left and right just to get a little bit of air, try to bring those temperatures down before he gets big pushes down the front stretch there. You see some lap traffic coming up. You got 3 trucks up there that are right in front of your race leader, J.J. McCoy, going into turn 1. So this could get hairy. Not as much here, but in our experience, Jeremy, we have something that these drivers do not. We have open comms. We can call out to those drivers and say, hey, lap down trucks, leaders coming, too wide, go high or pick a lane, let us know where you're going to be, something. These drivers have no open comms communication. That has been disallowed going forward for the rest of the season. So they don't have that ability. So the best thing to do for those 3 trucks right now is to stay as predictable as possible. Don't be moving all over the track, and the leaders will find a way around you. But again, that's only going to be successful if they are predictable as possible.
100% there, and some more drivers clearing up toward the front here. As we're seeing, 5. He's about to get gobbled up. A couple trucks here. They go single file on the second groove. They all have to shift up. Usually the slower trucks take the outside. These 3 elect to take the bottom. It's going to shift the entire field up a lane. And now who's going to take the advantage? Oh, the 77. Shane Wheeldon almost door checks with the number 11. Getting into turn number 3. No harm, no foul. Still here. They're still 3 wide momentarily. And now since those slow trucks, Dustin, were on the bottom, they've kind of blended in with the field just inside the top 10. So this is now, not just a race for first. This is also a race for the first person to be in the lucky dog spot. And that's going to involve the 73 and the 11. They're 3rd and 4th on the bottom.
Yeah, and actually that shook up the entire top 5 to top 10, because now Justin LeBlanc is taking the lead with big pushes from the 46 of Brad Miner. And correct me if I'm wrong, my memory sometimes is not the greatest, but I do believe the 85 of Justin LeBlanc is the defending race winner at this very event from last season. He sat here and got himself a dub at Talladega. So he is, if that is indeed true, he is right back in very familiar territory, Jeremy.
Indeed there, and it also shook up the field. Now we got, Justin LeBlanc he was in top 5-ish, but now he's sitting there. Oh my God, I thought McCoy was going to spin himself off the bumper of the 85, but at least he knows he's clear. That's an old OP reference for the ones who known us for a while. So he snuck that one in there in front of LeBlanc, and now Bobby Mantle and Michael Hayes. Oh, Michael Hayes is just giving Bobby Mantle the business off of turn 2. Just shoving him. He's got the cool engine. He's still gridlocked to his back bumper. Finally releases him, I think. Nope, still on him. He's there. Finally gets him pushed to the inside. And then they're going to be now cooling off the number 1. Now the 19 here. Jacob Grant going to have to do the same thing for Michael.
Yeah, you might want to hit live. Make sure you're live on what you were watching.
Yeah, I was actually looking at the YouTube for a second. That's 45 seconds delayed.
Ah, there you go. I was about to say, I'm like, what? That just happened. But no, now.
Your stream on the right, mine on the center, and YouTube on the... I have 3 versions of the same race going on at 3 different times. It is quite impressive right now.
So, yeah, now Bobby Mantle back to the point with his teammate J.J. McCoy behind him. But now Ghost Motorsports on the top side trying to get things going. That's going to be Mike Hayes and Jacob Grant. They got the 77 of Shane Wheeldon now in line. Wheeldon in the top 5. So they're trying to get that going to see if they can't get Mike Hayes cleared to drop to that top or that bottom lane there. But, Jeremy, we're at lap 26. We're about 4 laps away before that pit window is going to open up for green flag pit stops.
And here we go. We're getting closer and closer here. Now, the telling sign of the pit window will be when the guys start filing to the bottom. This 2x2 will break away because, well, if you need a pit, you can't do it from the second lane. You will more than likely cause a wreck. Bobby Mantle, though, he's going to let the 22 J.J. McCoy, he's going to cool him off as he jumps to the top. This is the racing that we're used to seeing on Wednesdays. He's going to do that. He's going to get the shove from the number 1, and then he's going to drop it back down into turn 3 if that all goes to plan. And, well, maybe not. He's going to double clear. Oh, the 1's going to take the juke to the inside. Bobby Mantle now going to be stuck to the top. Close call there. 19 gets bumped. J.J. McCoy wasn't going to have it. Almost turned Jacob Grant in turn 4.
Yeah, that was a close cut down there. Jacob Grant didn't have it quite cleared. Slight contact with the right front of J.J. McCoy's bumper there, but was still able to force it into that slot to put Hayes and Grant himself into the 1 and 2 slot. But yeah, it's we're used to seeing that. It's not the drivers are blocking lanes, but when there's a driver, especially a team driver behind you that's been pushing for that long, it's not uncommon to see drivers jump to the other lane just to allow their team driver to get cooled off, because a team driver does you absolutely no good if they are blown up and grenaded and sitting on pit road.
Yeah, no good at all here on lap 28 here on the front stretch. Pits coming up real shortly. And we're only seeing, 4 trucks on the top. There's your sign. We told you. This is when you expect the field to come down. Lap 29 right now. Pit window. Just in a lap or 2. 3 trucks now on the top. Turn 1 and turn 2. I think this time will be the first time we see the pit roads open, Dustin, for a lot of drivers.
I would have to agree with the way everybody is lining up. You see that whole line of trucks on the inside. Only 3 brave souls on the top side, but they might be able to stretch it an extra lap. Remember, I said it's going to be a variable pit window depending on how much they were saving throughout that green flag run there. So with that said, these drivers might be able to stretch it 1 more lap, and they're not going to have to battle near as much as some of these other drivers. But Jeremy, it looks like we have clean sailing right now. No takers this time, but I would definitely expect next time you are going to see a couple trucks peel off to start the round of green flag pit stops. as they are lined up all the way back. Big chugga chugga choo choo.
He just said chugga chugga choo choo. That is not my words, folks. That is Mr. Dustin Loxton at the helm.
That's the
Of chat there.
longest train right there, my man. Longest train. I tell you what,
Choo-choo.
Shane Wielden, though, with the help of the 72 of Jonathan Gaston, these guys are making it work on that top side right now. They're before going into 3 and 4, Wielden had his nose ahead of Bobby Mantle. And I tell you what, for 2 trucks, they are making it happen, and we got some trucks coming in. There we go. Green flag pit stops underway. We have a few trucks. That's Ricky Hudgens, David Holsey, Matthew Escalera, and Chuck Cobb coming down pit road. Those are your first takers for scheduled green flag pit stops. And look at that. While we were covering that, Gaston was able to get the 77 of Shane Wielden to the top spot. New leader this time by. Was it just in time? Are they going to come down pit road or stay out? Question will be answered when we go through turns 3 and 4.
Yep, here we go. We're going to see here. Whoa comes down this time by. Lap 31. Scheduled 85. Just past the third of the way through this event.
This
There we
is
go, race
lap
leader.
30. Yep, this
1,
is lap
2,
32. It does say 31 of 85 because that's the lap we're working on completing. Shane Wielden comes in super hot. Holy moly, he locks those things up all the way in. Jacob Grant, Mike Hayes, Thorpe Jr. You got McGill, Gentner, Lester, and Mengi Pooty coming in on lap 30, coming to completing lap 31. So that's right on par with what we were talking about, Jeremy.
Yep, absolutely right on par there. And just a couple stragglers left, and we're going to have at it. Well, these guys should blend in all together as long as the pit stops all remain smooth through these first set of pit stops. I see no penalties issued at this time for all those, except for maybe the 67 of Raj Mangipudi. He's at a 33-second pit stop. That tells me he's got a penalty, but here comes the rest of the field. Big stack up here.
Oh, 26.
Stack up. 26 spins it halfway around. That's Callum Bailey. His first start here at the Global Racing Marine Truck Series. And, well, welcome to the league. There is brakes involved on pit stops, and he had too much applied. And for loopsy daisies, 3 wide.
3 wide coming in, and like you said, he gets on the brakes to try to slow it up, and the front tries to stop, and the rear end says, nope, I'm going to try to pass you. Excellent job by Danny White going around that. That could have been ever troublesome on pit road. No one else collected, but that's going to hurt him. He's going to be out of a draft. He is going to need a caution flag to close him back up for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to need to do that. And we're closing in on lap 33 here. Looking at the top of the charts, the guy on your screen right here, 78, John Howard, Joshua Raymond, Hayden Bullard, Anthony Emmerich, and Noah Tansman. These guys, and 2 of them, the caffeine team, inside the top 5. It's kind of cool that these guys are the only ones left here. So you got Chase Elliott looking over his teammate's shoulder, and then Joshua Raymond got those gamer glasses on. Almost looked like an Oakley pair from the ones we got. And man, look at his camera. Joshua's camera's even shaking. His man has got his force feedback turned up so high, or his table's about to fall apart. But he's got that motion camera right now.
Oh, for sure he does. Man, he wants to have that realism effect coming up, but clean entry there by literally the entire team, whatchamacallit team. That's Howard, that's Bullard, Tansman, Raymond, and Emmerich all coming in. So that is the last of your green flag pit stops. And of course, you see Tansman there taking a quick drink in pit road. My man knows how to make it happen. But they're going to need a clean exit by all drivers, and they will be able to blend back in to this pack right here, led by Jacob Grant. This pack here, possibly as they are full speed, will take over the race lead depending on how quick Team whatchamacallit can make it out of pit road. You see they're there right now, so this group will overtake them. But that next group should be able to blend back in, because, Jeremy, this pit exit is probably one of the best pit exits that you can have on a super speedway in a plate track, better than Daytona because it's actually banked. You can full throttle it on that lane just below the yellow line, which makes pit exit amazing for a driver.
Yeah, 100% there, and we are back side by side right where we left off about 5 laps prior when green flag pit stop started. We're going to go turn up the toots here. We got a chance to use it. So we're going to turn up the sounds, turn off our voices, and enjoy Talladega with trucks.
We can make it with 33. John, get low. Get low.
And welcome back here. That was Turn Up the Tudes, and Peter says he loves that sound now. I need to smell it. Well, if you tune in next week, we have our a brand new DLC installed. It's called Scratch and Sniff. You scratch the monitor, you sniff it, you get the rubber smells straight from the monitor, and that's free. Brought to you by Nerd TV. So join in next week and get the smells and the sounds of these trucks going around whatever track they're at. Being Bristol next week, that should be fun, but.
My man said scratch and sniff. I love it, man. See, this is why I love doing broadcasts with you, Jeremy. We've been doing this over 300 broadcasts, man, and every one is always a blast, and there's always something new, man. I love it.
Always something new. You know, this is why I'm here. Got the driest jokes in town, and what's not dry is the stuff on track dust. We're 3 wide, not just with lap trucks. This is just mixing it up here. They're getting spicy at the halfway mark.
Yeah, it's working lap 41 of 85, so coming up to that halfway, but you see Michael Thorpe Jr. trying to get something working on that top side. He's got the 99 of Austin McGill behind him right now. Remember, Thorpe, fresh off a win last week at Martinsville, and that's something we have not touched base, Jeremy. This is our 8th race for the Global Racing League Truck Series, and in 7 races that this group of guys has put on amazing shows, we have had 7 different winners. Still no repeat winners, so the same question raises that has the last 7 weeks. Are we going to see our first repeat winner? We got a number of drivers that are up there. You got Bobby Mantle, who has a win. He's up there. Jacob Grant is up there, who has a win. JJ McCoy's up there, who has a win. Michael Thorpe is in the top 10, who has a win. So we have a number of drivers that are up there that could be the first repeat winner, but we also have a number of drivers still chasing that first dub.
Lots of drivers, man. We got a lot of first-time winners this year, and looking at the stats, everyone's got a 1 next to their column, so we're looking for our first repeat. Right now, our winners so far in the season are Michael Thorpe Jr., Blake Tidwell, then we have Joshua Grant, Bobby Mantle, Dustin Franklin, Stephen Hayes, and JJ McCoy. All those guys have 1 win. Not one have 2. But there's still tons of people in this field that don't have a win, because close, there's 32 drivers out here trying to slice it up at Talladega. And if you're going to get your first repeat winner, this is probably the track that you're going to see it. Who do you pick? The 89's been up front the whole time. The 1's been up front. LeBlanc has been there. Those 3 guys in particular, I would imagine they're going to put themselves in a great spot. But, EJ Luna, he's back up into the top 10 for the first time after dropping out like a high school student. And he's leading the charge on the top.
Yeah, right.
Second line, anyways.
Right now, just in your top 10, drivers that are in your top 10, which is a perfect striking distance right now if this was coming up to the last few laps of the race, to get their first win. Mike Hayes is right up there. We talked about Mike Hayes quite a bit. Shane Wheeldon, Justin LeBlanc, Austin McGill, EJ Luna. Those are the drivers in the top 10 currently that have not won yet. The rest of the drivers in the top 10 have a win next to their a win tally in the stat column. So we have Michael Thorpe Sr. in the chat saying back-to-back for the number 34. Of course we know who he's going to root for.
Who's that? Just tell me.
I think he's going for Mike Hayes. I could be wrong. But no, Mike. We know you're rooting for Michael Thorpe Jr. for sure. Guy put on a heck of a show. Good battle last week with Brody Marinko. All race, was able to put himself in position to be our 7th different winner this season. So this league and this series just never ceases to amaze me. It doesn't. Every week is something new. You see something amazing go on, and these drivers have been doing a fantastic job, Jeremy. 3 wide right now, but as you can tell, the 89 of Bobby Mantle losing a lot of ground right now, went to that 3rd line, and now he's fallen all the way back. JJ McCoy leading over Mike Hayes in that 2nd lane, and he's got big time help and push from the 34 of Thorpe Jr. and the 99 of Austin McGill.
Yeah, doing a excellent job, these guys are. And 0 cautions. We're over halfway in this race. We had pit stops that only had 1 truck, the 26, only 90-degree self-spin. Got corrected. We had 1 pit stop penalty from Raj Mandipudi. That's it. Just been clean cut racing up to this point here, lap 46. Dustin, we're going to take our, I think one of our last picture-in-picture commercial breaks for the night, and then we'll talk about it when we come back.
Can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful, booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy jerky. The original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair. Now available.
And that's our picture-in-picture here. Back to full screen once more. Lap 49 headed away to lap 50, which will signal 31 laps remaining in the Global Racing League Truck Series at Talladega Super Speedway, of course, virtually on the iRacing simulation. We're having a good time here this evening here. 3 wide, couple trucks. Bobby Mantle and JJ McCoy have made great work together so far, but up to this point anyways, now they're kind of separated. JJ McCoy goes to the bottom, outside the top 5 for probably the first time tonight, minus pit stop sequence. And now they're going to have to work with somebody else to get their way back to the front.
Yeah, right now, the person they're going to have to push is that 34, Michael Thorpe Jr., who's leading that center lane, trying to get some headway made. He's getting pushed from his teammate there, Austin McGill in the 99, but Mike Hayes and Jacob Grant, Jacob Grant has not left the rear bumper of Mike Hayes since the drop of the green flag. These guys have been bumper glued for 49 laps completed so far, and they do not look like they're going to let up at all. But I tell you what, big pushes now. Michael Thorpe Jr. starting to eke forward a little bit from big pushes from the 99 of McGill.
Yeah, starting to get a little more aggressive out here when the time's starting to tick. The things are starting to move. You need one more pit stop. And if these guys stay green the whole time, this will be the last pit stop of this evening. So got to get into that position to take advantage, because it's been tough to pass out here. There's not been too much like solid 3x3 racing, so it's been very stagnant in positions. So where you're going to have to make up the most ground is on pit road, and to do that, you need to be pushing someone as best as you can to get them a little bit further ahead, and then nail your pit stop entrance, no penalties, and that's it. So when this pit stop might be one of the most aggressive ones we've seen this season, because it's going to be worth a lot at the end of this race.
It really is, and right now, as it sits, Full Throttle Motorsports controlling both lanes. You got Michael Thorpe Jr. on the inside, did have McGill on the outside, but McCoy pushed McGill up to that front spot. So now Full Throttle Motorsports nose to tail for the top 2 spots, followed by Ghost Motorsports right behind them with Hayes and Grant. And you see McCoy trying to get something going with that top line. Big pushes from the 85 of Justin LeBlanc as they're trying to build that momentum up. Pit stops coming roughly in about 9 laps or so. We're going to start seeing them come down for their second round of green flag pit stops, Jeremy.
It'll be their second round of green flag pit stops indeed. And maybe the last one. Green flag for 52 solid laps. I love this. This is great. It hasn't been maybe the most eventful racing per standards, but sometimes you don't need to have cautions all over the place, and you don't need to have 3 wide. As long as there's good, clean, respectable racing, this is what we're here for. This is what Global League likes to see. The people cheering on the driver, of course, they're not getting wrecked out, so they're loving where they're at. And we're having a good time in the chats here, so I appreciate y'all. And I have not commented on some of the YouTube chats. It is filled right now. So we have Lunar Eclipse a while ago said, "Go Caden, you got this." New person cheering on a new driver here tonight. Peter's rooting for Shane Wheeldon, of course. Which Tyler Honeycutt, he jumps in the chats. He's saying, "Let's go number 1 and number 19." That is Michael Hayes in the 1 and the 19 of Jacob Grant. And then Michael Thorpe, of course, still continuing on with the "Let's go back-to-back 34." That's Michael Thorpe Jr. Jeff in the chat saying, "Let's go Shane Wheeldon." And then Lux Destroyer saying, "Mantle, step it up. There's still time. That truck's fast, man. We know he'll be there."
Oh, absolutely. As they're working their way around some lap traffic right now, that was Chuck Cobb. They put him a lap down. Now that's going to spice it up a little bit, because now Chuck Cobb is the first driver a lap down and he's racing the driver right behind him, the 67 of Raj Mangipudi right now. So there's another race within a race because these guys are right in the center of the pack. Oh, caution, 74. He saved it? He saved that.
No
Holy
way.
moly, what a save by the 74 of Dustin Franklin. We got to go back and watch that. That was a wild save.
I'm going to make that reference again. This is not Rocket League, but that was a Rocket League comment. What a save right there. You said caution. You literally said the word caution, and we did not because, well, I don't know how the hell we saved this, but here's the hook. There's the turn. Okay, where's the caution? Where's the caution? But nope. The 74. He's just going to say, you know what? I don't want this caution.
What a save. And what heads-up driving by everyone around him, Jeremy. My God.
Dustin Franklin, wheelman of the night. Give that man the Icon Apparel Company Get a Grip award for being best hands driver tonight by far. Crazy right there.
That was unbelievable. I don't know how he held on to that and how he did not get hit by drivers. You see, it did check the field up a little bit, but man, with where he was at, that could have been 10 times worse than what it was.
Yeah, no kidding, right? That was stupid impressive. And not many people fell out of the draft because of that. You would have thought that would have been way worse, but nope. They're still mainly packed together here. Remember, the pit stop started at lap 29. And now times 2, that should be 58, 59. And we're just 3 laps away from that. So we're probably 3 to 4 laps away from seeing our second round of green flag pit stops, Dustin.
Yeah, and that's why you only see about 7 trucks on that top side right now. Every other truck is on the bottom, and you see the only 2 that are kind of further back is going to be Dustin Franklin back there, the driver that just got the Good Hands award, and the 11 of Don Blazer as well. Blazer giving him some draft help, trying to get him closed back up to that pack right in front of them. That's going to be the 76 of Holsey, David Holsey, trying to get closed up so they're at least in striking distance. But man, that was a near caution. It was so close to a caution, Jeremy, like you said it. I was calling it a caution, and it just never happened.
Yeah, just never happened. And iRacing's usually pretty good at throwing that caution when there's a truck almost 90 degrees in the center of a field, but being a little relaxed. I've seen some crazy cautions, and I've seen that one where there should have been, and well, but we're glad of it. No one wrecked. Everyone's in the draft, so why not? Continue to go green, baby. Let's go. The pit stops coming up.
Absolutely. Still nothing has changed up at the front. Full Throttle Motorsports controlling that inside lane. McGill leading with big pushes from his teammate, the 34, Michael Thorpe Jr. So Senior definitely going to be happy out there in the chat because Junior putting himself in real good striking distance right now with where he's running. McCoy been trying to get something going on that top side with big pushes from the 85 of LeBlanc, and I'm talking big pushes. LeBlanc has been working that bumper over big time for about the last 10 laps now, and these guys have been gridlocked worse than the I-95 on rush hour.
Nobody likes I-95 on rush hour. Atrocious. Could be like I-4, but you know, lap 59 now. So I would imagine 1 or 2 laps here. JJ McCoy found himself back to the front with 85 Justin LeBlanc. Bobby Mantle struggling because of the gridlock. He's just inside that top 10 area. A little shuffle in the back there. Thought we might have had a wreck, but we stay going straight. We stay going green. And a little 3 wide there momentarily. A little space on the bottom in front of the 81 Chuck Cobb. Anyone going to slide down in front? Nope. Looks like he's going to be able to close that window just in time. There we go. Coming up to lap number 60. No takers this time.
Yep, and right now, your race for Lucky Dog, and probably the drivers that were wishing a caution would have come out there. Chuck Cobb leads that tally right now. He is 2 trucks ahead of the 67 of Raj Mangipudi, who just jumped to the top side right now in hopes that he can try to move forward to get ahead of Chuck Cobb, because if a caution were to come out, whichever one of those drivers is ahead of the other one will get the wave around as long as there is no contact, no X's as we call them in iRacing. So Oh, big
Oh, that
time.
is.
That's going to bring one out that has to.
Nope.
Absolute. There it is.
There it is.
I was about to say there is no way that does not bring one out because
Oh.
that was
Actually, the
brutal.
initial wreck. Yeah, initial one did not bring out the caution, but there was an extra pileup, I think, after the fact, as the 46 Danny Minor just gets hooked hard into the outside wall there, destroys the right front fender on that truck. And that's Stephen Knight in the 79, I do believe, there from Grim Reaper. He gets turned to the infinite. Now, I think there was smoke also in turn 3.
Who was going off track there? Was that this right here? Oh,
Oh, there it is. There's where the caution is. The
big
46
time.
comes back across. Don Blasian, the 11, hooks up with the 26, Callum Bailey. Smoke coming off the tires of this number 11, so about 4 or 5 trucks in total in this one here.
Yeah, that was big time implications there. 46, a lot of damage on that one there. But that's going to bring that caution out, and that's going to put Chuck Cobb, should be your lucky dog winner recipient on that one there, as the race was very close between him and Mengi Pudi on that, but I do believe Cobb actually had the position at the time the initial caution came out.
Let's see if we can hold that spot here as we go through our first caution flag pit stops, and quite possibly the last pit stop that all these drivers will make, at least for fuel anyways. We should see everybody, and I mean everybody, coming down for some virtual Sunoco fuel, led by the 99 Austin McGill. One truck, is that the 81, Mr. Chuck Cobb? He's going to try to lead a lap here.
No, lucky dog. Lucky dog.
Is he lucky dog?
He's a lap
He
down.
sure is.
They just lapped him about 5 laps ago. That's why he was blended in with the pack, so he has to stay out to receive.
Good call there. Good heads up. Apparently I don't have it. You do. And there you are. There's your wave around. There he goes around the pace truck. Get your lap back, Mr. Chuck Cobb. You go and get it with the Lucky Dog Award presented by Icon Apparel Company. Once more, it's iconapparelcompany.com. I know you know the website, but there you are again. You need to shop there. Well worth your time. Beautiful website. Beautiful products all across the board. And Dustin, we're going to stack them back up. Final picture-in-picture break. We'll be back for the green flag and everything else entirely after these final few words.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful, booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair, now available.
And back full screen here, and we're going to stay full screen the entire time between now and the end of this race as we're gearing up for a restart. That's going to happen with about 22 laps remaining between here and the finish. Top 5. We're actually going to go top 10. Nerd TV top 10 recap. That's what we're going to do right here. Michael Thorpe, look at him, getting him set up for a potential back-to-back after not being inside the top 5, I think, the whole night. Now sits P1 Austin McGill, falls to second, JJ McCoy in third, Jacob Grant up in fourth, Justin LeBlanc in fifth. One of the biggest movers in the field, number 6th place, Stephen Hayes in 13. He's up 14 positions himself. And then P7 is that number 77, Shane Wheeldon, up 4 spots. Michael Hayes, your pole sitter, starting back in 8th place, 4th row on the outside. 9th place, EJ Luna, been very stagnant in his position all night long. And 10th place, one of the also biggest movers, up 17 positions, the number 21, Ricky Hudgens. Welcome to the top 10 here. And let's see if you stay or not. You got the speed. Can you get to the front now? That's the thing. If you're passing 20th to 10th, that's easy enough. Going from 10th to 1st, that's a whole another ball game. You might think it's the same thing. Nope. Takes a whole different skill set and knowledge to know what to do to get there. Who's got it, who's don't. We're going to figure this out in the next 21 laps. Pace truck down. Green flag at the ready. Green flag. This thing's back underway.
Back underway. Good start there by the 34 of Thorpe, and he gets enough clearance between him and McCoy to get his teammate Austin McGill down to the inside. They take up residence right where they left off.
Caution.
And we have a caution. Oh, Jeremy, cautions breed cautions, and I do believe Peter said, okay, now we will see. This is going to start getting a little hairy, and he called it in the chats, Peter, so ding, ding,
no.
big winner.
Ding, ding, big winner. Chicken wing, ding, ding. 73. This is going to be the 73's caution. Jeff Weimer. This is Kenny Heather in the 5. The 67
Ooh.
goes through the gap, and then Jeff Weimer just completely deletes that center lane like it was a block. And that's going to come at the collateral of the 67 Mangapudi. It's going to come at the 5 of Kenny Heath. And there was a 4th truck at the bottom. No, it's just 3 total right there. So Jeff Weimer closing the gap. Look at the space. There's a lot of space, a lot of space, a lot of space. He takes it, and then Jeff says, nope, it is not yours.
Oh, man, yeah, that was... He closed it up. I mean, it's you have to be aware of the delta closing on that, and that's both drivers. I mean, that's not just on the 73; it's on the 67 as well. You have to be aware of the delta that's closing in on that. But I mean, if you know that lane is open and that delta is distance, and what we mean by delta is the speed difference between two drivers coming together. You can't close that off because that driver that's coming up is not going to have the ability to slow down a lot of times, and it's still going to end up in a wreck. So that's a tough situation there that, Jeremy, we've all been in. We have all been in. And I have to shout out right now, 32 concurrent live viewers between all streaming media. Got to give shouts and props and love to each and every one of you nerds out there. Much appreciated on the 32 live concurrent.
Beautiful number to see there. 28 on YouTube alone, 32 in total. Love to see you guys here for the lately going of the Global Racing League Truck Series. And this is going to make things a little easier for the 34, the guy on your screen right now, Michael Thorpe Jr. Making, headway here early in his season in Global. And he's going to just coast on this next little caution break here. Going to be restarting. What are we looking about? 17-ish to go. Pace truck lights are on this time, so not this time, but next. We'll see him go green flag. That'll be resuming on lap 68. So yeah, about 17 to go. And then let's see if he can maintain. But man, this is do we have more of this? Is cautions actually breeding cautions, or was that just a one-off?
I don't know. I mean, that one there felt like that it could have been a one-off, Jeremy. It seemed like they were very disorganized back there on the start and just trying to do everything they could to not fall further off. They know the laps are coming down. And I feel that was just, not being aware of your surroundings and the relative differential and the deltas coming up, and they can come up and they can bite you faster than what you think. So got to, Gold Track in the chat says, oh my God. Yeah, I have to say it that way because it's GAWD. On that one there, talking about the incident that just brought out our second caution. That was between the 73 of Weimer and the 67 of Mangipudi as well, that also collected the 5 of Heath. So those drivers collected in a little bit of kerfluffleness going on back there. That's right, I said kerfluffleness. You guys just deal with that one.
That's a word.
It
It's
is.
definitely a word of choice. Also, I'm trying to figure out as well is the 18th time to go. I think we had in our fun team chat last night. What was the position that was presented by Scott Martin himself, an icon? 31st position.
Man, I don't even know if I can replicate that. 31st, I think is what it was, which is better than his normal 11th that he always says. So, yeah, Scott Martin over there at Icon Apparel Company is always coming up with new numbers.
Yeah, so and then now we have 18th time to go. I'm not sure if that's how you say that, but numbers are a thing these days. And then Peter again with the compliments, and you guys are awesome. You know what? I appreciate you. You don't know how well you're doing. You can get the viewer count, that's fine, but you don't know until you hear it directly in the chat. So appreciate that being typed in there. Do get the 1 to go signal this time. Pace truck lights are off. 34 in the 99 continue to be your restart leaders right now, as we're trying a new thing. Dustin did not want to try something. He edits this layout that we present every single week all the time. I even tell him sometimes to stop it because he does it so frequently. But then he said he was afraid of showing off this feature on the bottom of the screen. So I'd like to test this out. Flood the chats if you can one more time. Let's see how well this thing works. If it works great, we'll continue to use it.
Well, and here's the thing. So a lot of the stuff here can only be tested in a live environment. And when you have leagues that put money up, you tend not to want to test stuff that may or may not work as well as it works in your head. And this one here was one that we have been telling you fans out there, because we love you guys so much, that we want to showcase you guys on the broadcast as well. So this is something that we're going to be fine-tuning and working in more and more, and we will get it dialed in completely so that we can showcase you guys out there more than just Jeremy and I having conversations and shouting you guys out. So this segment is more for you guys than it is for anybody else.
100% there, but Dustin, we're about to go green flag here. This is what they're here to see. And so, oh, hold on. It's not lame because I don't mute you guys, so that's got to say something, right? Well, appreciate that. I'm surprised you don't mute us because...
I love that comment. It's not lame. You put a smile on my face.
I am the most sandpaper-like voice you could hear on a broadcast, and here we are. You don't have me muted, so you're just here for the smells and sounds of the trucks. That's all that is. But green flag is out. 18 laps remaining here in the Talladega Super Speedway race for the Global Racing Truck Series. The 34, Michael's going to get a great start here. We do make it into turn 1 this time. So we're going to keep these 2 cautions at bay, and hopefully we stay only 2 cautions. A little break up here inside the top 10 compared to everybody else, but that will close up here in the next lap or 2.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, like I said, we appreciate you guys, and Jeremy, that's usually why you love having me call the last lap when we sit here and do races. I probably put a little bit more emotion and excitement into it than what I should, but you know what? I can't help it. I love what we do up here, and I love that we can bring this action to you guys, and these drivers love bringing that action, because right now, Full Throttle Motorsports, Jeremy, controlling both lanes. You got Thorpe Jr. on the inside, Austin McGill on the outside. They're pushers right now. Grant on the inside, McCoy on the outside. 17 laps to go in the running here at Talladega Super Speedway. Jeremy, will we see a repeat winner, or are we going to see a new one? We'll find out in 17 laps.
Yes, we will. We will definitely let you know what happens here on the very nice lap 69, 17 to go, 16 and a half on the back straightaway. We are absolutely gigging it up here, 3 wide, about 15th place, because that makes sense. We're going to see if the 44 Mark Sherwood can bring himself and 2 friends from back half of the field up to the front. Can they do it? They've seen it happen before. It takes a lot of side draft. It takes a lot of good, solid pushing there from the truck in behind. Can they do it? They're trying everything. They're doing it. No friends to jump up top. They've already passed a couple trucks as they're checking up. They've already passed about 5 vehicles this lap. Dustin, they are making it happen. 2 trucks, third lane.
Yeah, and it can absolutely be done, but you have to utilize that side draft. You have to be smooth so that that person behind you can give you all the pushes in the world. And that person is Danny White, who knows how to get it done there. So it can definitely be done. We did it Saturday a number of times. So they're making it happen, and they're doing it at the right time. You have to start this sooner rather than later. You can't wait to start doing this from where they were sitting at with 4 laps to go, because you just will not have enough time. But the hopes is that they can get further up there, and some of these drivers on back behind J.J. McCoy, like Mike Hayes. You know Bobby Mantle's going to stick with McCoy, but there's Joshua Raymond there as well. Their hopes are that some of those drivers will jump up and give a little bit of draft help in that third lane.
36 viewers on YouTube. Let's go. I think we're close to that 40 mark. That's an outstanding number. Bring it on here. 15 laps remaining at Talladega. The racing is getting good. The third lane starting to fall off as that truck is starting to overheat a little bit. So that's where they're going to need some friends, or else this will not sustain more than just a couple more laps. Into turn 3 wide for 10th place, as the inside does have the 2 truck length advantage on the inside single file. That's the 34 and the 99. Been working well together. Well, they've been doing it all night because, well, they're teammates. The only 2 teammates on Full Throttle Motorsports. And the blue spoilers, can they maintain?
Yeah, and that's the question, if they can maintain. They've been doing a fantastic job up to this point. I think there's other teams that have been doing a fantastic job. You see that one of them right up in that second lane. That's Grim Reaper Motorsports. McCoy and Mantle. The M&M connection there. Love me some candy. That has been working very well. And the other one is right behind Full Throttle Motorsports. That's Mike Hayes and Jacob Grant for Ghost Motorsports, has been working very well together. But we can't count out Joshua Raymond, Anthony Emmerich. Look at these teams right now. That's whatchamacallit. And Jeremy, you have 5. It looks, do I count that right? That looks like 5 Team whatchamacallit drivers right now lined up nose to tail. If Bobby Mantle moves out of that line, this team is going to have all the help it needs to get any lane moving.
Yep, that is indeed 5 spoilers back-to-back that are identical. Team whatchamacallit has the train, but with one Grim Reaper in front. Do they shuffle them out? Do they work with them? Bobby Mantle back up to the front. Remember, he was up there earlier. He got shuffled out at one point. And then we questioned whether if he could do it. Well, he's here. No questions anymore. He raced that doubt, as Bobby knows how to get it done on these super speedways here. Lap 73, going to be 74 at the line, which will give him 12 laps to go. This time by the inside advantage still to the 22, J.J. McCoy. Does he jump up to help his teammate, the 89, or do they stay controlling both lanes?
All right, now the 89 getting big pushes. He's going to clear that inside. I would expect him to drop down. There he goes, right in front of his teammate. But that now opens that outside line to that entire line of Team whatchamacallit trucks. And Jeremy, 5 trucks here at Talladega. That's enough to control any lane possible. So this could get interesting very quick.
Number 1. Caution is out. Michael Hayes shuffled to the inside, hard to the inside, safer barrier. That's going to put an end potentially to the number 1, Michael Hayes. As we got a little racy, a little slicing, a little dicing, a little tag. Oh, Jacob Grant.
Was that no, not teammate on teammate? Please tell me it's not teammate on. It's teammate on teammate. Oh, that is the worst feeling in the world, Jeremy. We've all been in that situation with Nerd Esports a number of times, racing league. The worst feeling for a driver is teammate on teammate violence. and it wasn't intended like that. There was a checkup. Grant went low, not to get into the back of the one of Mike Hayes, and just in trying to remerge back up, ended up making contact regardless. And that's the worst feeling. It really is. A lot of front end damage to the one of Mike Hayes.
Jacob Grant pulled out a lane, which, number one, you can't pass below the double yellow, so I'm not sure what that was. It lost the momentum of the one because he didn't have the push. Jacob Grant pulls the air off the spoiler, so he's going to go for a side draft slingshot below the double yellow line and then merges right into the left rear of his teammate. Just not sure what that call was there, but 19 taking out teammate Michael Hayes, your pole sitter tonight, one of the fastest trucks here this evening, out of the Talladega Super Speedway race here with just over 10 laps remaining. And that's gonna hurt there. They're gonna be talking about that one after this race. But you know, it doesn't hurt getting these two drivers, the only teammates for Full Throttle Motorsports, are gonna be restarting both trucks on the bottom, first and third place. That'll be Michael Thorpe and Austin McGill as they're gonna cycle through here. They need all the help they can get. Actually, is the 44 up front? No, that's
the 89. It's going to be on
they got
the
shuffled back a little bit. They were up front a little earlier. So yeah, the 89 Mantle P1. You're right.
Yep, and then his teammate McCoy will start P3 right behind him. So they're going to be exactly where they want. But then you're going to have Team Whatchamacallit drivers of Joshua Raymond and Anthony Emmerich starting nose to tail on the top side. So then the question is who's going to be behind them? You have Austin McGill's going to be starting sixth. He'll be on that high side. His teammate's going to be starting right behind him. Could we see a third lane starting to form with some of these teams, Jeremy? And it never ceases to amaze me that when we get to the end of the race, that teammates find ways to get themselves nose to tail when the time is needed for it. And that's exactly what they're doing. We are seeing clusters of teammates, and this is going to play a huge role in the outcome of this race here, because it's going to be not driver on driver. It's going to be team versus team versus team. Which lane is going to prevail?
Great question. Next question. We saw two trucks on the third lane do it. If you keep your truck cool enough, you got that advantage on the top. Or do you have a great push here at the bottom? Because they're going to be under 10 laps to go when this restart happens. It's about lap or 7 or 8 to go. You can push for a solid 2 laps before you start to overheat some, right? So you play patience just a little bit and then press the nitrous button when it counts the most. And if you time it well, there's your winner. Or do we see another truck combination that runs the third lane from 15th and gets themselves into the top 5? And do they get a reset with another caution? You know, things can just play in their favors all across the board here. As I did see for a split moment, we did hit 40 viewers. So I appreciate y'all. It's been fluctuating. We've been up there. It goes from 27 to 41 on the fly right there. That's the highest number I've seen tonight. So appreciate y'all.
Love it. I love it.
You're laughing. What's up?
I am.
What's going on up there?
I tell you what, man, Peter, you keep shouting out, Peter, and everybody, because you guys are cracking me up. I love it. Talking about the teammate on teammate violence with Ghost Motorsports. Peter comments, that's going to make for an awkward ride home.
Listen, the virtual ride home, these guys are playing Call of Duty with friendly fire turned on. I don't know what to tell you. Not how I play, but friendly fire turned on for their team.
That would ruin friendships, man. That would ruin friendships in a heartbeat.
Playing Monopoly.
Lunar Eclipse also says go Caden, and because we like to shout out, you guys take the time to shout out, so we like to shout out Caden running in the top 10, putting himself in good position right now to try to get something done. We've seen people come from further back, Jeremy, and take that win, because you don't know. We have no idea how this is going to end until that checkered flag flies and these drivers cross that start-finish line. Anything literally can happen.
And don't mention that Caden is up 17 positions, started 26th. Now he's inside the top 10 with under 10 laps to go. One of the biggest stories here, as far as from the back to the front, is the driver that number 18, Caleb Bullard. Oh, Bullard. So I had a burp there as I was talking and saying his name, so that's kind of cool. But half a lap left.
And Jeremy,
And
Let's talk about the movers. Look at this top 10.
talk about 'em.
Joshua Raymond in second place, up 26 spots. Anthony Emmerich in fourth, up 26 spots. Mark Sherwood in fifth, up 14. Austin McGill in sixth, up 15. Caden Bullard in ninth, up 17. Noah Tansman in 10th, up 15. Literally all your biggest movers are in the top 10, and that is no joke. All with the exception of Chuck Cobb, who's in 18th, but he's up 15 spots. Besides him, everybody else is your biggest mover in the top 10.
It is indeed true. A lot of movers. It was not like that to the halfway mark, but here late in the going, when things matter the most, they put the throttle down, and they're going to get it. Here we go. Throttle's up to ready for this restart. Waiting for premature Patrick to throw the flag, and there we go. 8 laps remaining. Talladega Super Speedway with the Global Racing Truck Series. Who's going to win it? Who's going to crash it? Who's going to help? Who? Looks like Grim Reaper with an excellent 1-2 combo with the 89-22 at the bottom.
Yeah, but that could be a demise, though. They got out to an excellent start, but they got out to a big lead. That's going to allow that top line to really gain momentum, and they're not really going to be able to jump up there because the split's so different. And look at the pole that they have down that back straightaway. Right now, that's Joshua Raymond, Anthony Emmerich on that top side, and you have McGill and Thorpe Jr. helping. It's a 4-on-4 truck battle, 4 on the inside, 4 on the outside, the rest trying to reel them in.
2 on 2 on 2. You got Team Whatchamacallit at the top with the 20 and the 23. Then Full Throttle Motorsports, 99 and 34. And then on the bottom, of course, you have the 2 yellow spoilers from Grim Reaper. 6 laps remaining. Lone Star putting their nose in here. They have 3 trucks inside the top 10 now as they're trying to work their way. Another Team McCullough truck, 78 and 18. There are going to be 2 trucks at the top. Here they come with a late charge.
Yeah, and I told you it was these teams were going to do anything. That's why seeing that third lane come in does not surprise me. Austin McGill thought about going up there, did not have the timing right, has to stay in line. So now you got John Howard and you got Caden Bullard up on that top side trying to get something working. Here comes that third line. If they can get cleared and get some help, can they get more momentum up there and make this a 3-line race to the end? 7 laps to go, 6 to go as they cross the line this time.
Anthony Emmerich pushing the hell out of the number 20, Joshua Raymond. Got him upset in turn 3, able to maintain it and lead the lap there. 6 laps remaining here in the Talladega Super Speedway race, presented by the Global Racing League Truck Series. Still 2 trucks at the top from Team Whatchamacallit. Can they get to the point, or are they going to stall out here?
Here comes the help.
They're here, top 3. 3 wide.
3 wide, and here comes the help. 3 more trucks on the top side. Oh, the 24 of EJ Luna makes contact with the wall, but Stephen Hayes, Justin LeBlanc, now up to that top side, Jeremy, and we got ourselves a 3-wide battle race for the checkered. 6 laps to go, coming to 5.
Lots of these trucks are teammates nose to tail. I love the teamwork here late in the going. Team Whatchamacallit controlling the middle and the upper 2 lanes. The bottom 2 still by Grim Reaper. Then you got the blue spoilers from Full Throttle. We got a lot of Lone Stars still inside this top 10. Anyone's game. 3 wide. They got 5, 6 trucks at the top, and it is rolling this top lane right now. 1 truck in the wall in the back, not going to affect anybody. 4.5 laps remaining.
4.5 laps. That top lane building momentum. The 78 of John Howard almost had his teammate Joshua Raymond cleared, but they're going to have to fall back on it. Like you said, a lot of team spoilers. You see 2 Whatchamacallit on the top, followed by 2 Lone Star on the top. You see 2 Whatchamacallit in the middle, followed by 2 Full Throttle in the middle. And then you see 2 Grim Reaper on the bottom. There are teams everywhere. Full Throttle, Austin McGill moves up to the top side here. He's making a move now. That's going to break up that center, but that's going to allow the 78 of John Howard to push and allow Caden to cool his motor off, Jeremy. This could help that top line. That's what they needed.
This is going to be a great move to the top if they can keep it maintained. He's going to leave his teammate, but this is for the race win. And now he's got the help on the top with a cool engine. He can push for a solid 1 lap. The 78 Howard can on the 99 of McGill. but can he get him there? It looks like they're struggling a little bit. Turn 3, they're still not to the first 2 lanes. Let's see if they can do it off the board.
Yeah, still trying to work, and while they're battling and trying to get that lane moving up front, Bobby Mantle, Joshua Raymond neck and neck. Anthony Emmerich pushing the 20 of Raymond as hard as he can, back and forth. McCoy pushing the hell out of the 89 of Mantle, trying to go 3 laps to go, folks. If they can maintain, this is going to be one hell of a race finish.
They're finally there. 7 trucks at the top. The bottom and middle 2 lanes evenly split amongst the drivers in line. Here we go, back straightaway, 2.5 laps remaining. The middle groove has the advantage. Does one separate or do they stay in line? They
Double
go
cleared.
Down, double cleared over Mantle and JJ McCoy. Now the blue spoilers lead the top and the middle. This is going to really help the 34, Michael Thorpe. Can he go back to back?
Can he go back to back? He's got to get big pushes from the 21 of Ricky Hudgens, though. Hudgens all over the back bumper of Thorpe Jr. as they're working that middle line. Top lane still struggling to try to get that momentum going. You see trucks diving down. That's Stephen Hayes in the 13. Jump from the top to the middle. But right now, Team Whatchamacallit leading the way on the inside with Joshua Raymond and Anthony Emmerich. That's going to completely gridlock Grim Reaper Motorsports. They are stuck on that inside with nowhere to go.
Anxiety filled here. All these drivers trying
And
to
as
find
I
their
say
way
that,
to
4
victory
wide.
lane. 4 wide, squeezing the gap. 3 on the bottom are pinched down super low. No contact. Still 4 wide, 2 rows deep. Dustin LeBlanc into the wall. Does he save it? He does. We stay green flag. Still 4 wide for 10th place. Holy hell. Here we go. Last lap.
And they made it stick. That was a bold move by the 89 of Mantle right there to move up, push it 4 wide, puts himself and McCoy in the center lane behind the 34 right now. And now they're looking to the outside. There goes Mantle with the move to the outside. White flag lap, 1 lap to go. Mantle trying to get something going. We have wreck going on in the back. There goes Mantle. There goes everybody. Big time wreck on the last lap. That's going to leave the 34 as you see all the carnage in the background.
My.
Thorpe trying to block the run from Raymond. Now going back down low, trying to block it from Emmerich. Emmerich down low. He got forced down there. Oh, contact made, and they spin up. Thorpe's trying to save it on that bottom line. Saves it. But who's coming up behind him? Caden. Caden Bullard coming up with the run. Clears the 34 of Thorpe Jr. Can he maintain? Will he be able to hold it? Will we see our 8th different winner? And I believe we are, Jeremy. The 18 of Caden Bullard is your race winner.
Dustin breaking the decibel barrier on Discord for the finish of this race. It all started when the 76 was murdered in turn 2. And then, man, we got to review that turn 3. There was a pass made way below the double yellow lane. And then Michael Thorpe, I think, hooked somebody to try to secure the win. And then Caden Bullard, lunar eclipse on YouTube must be going crazy. First start for the 18, and he's going to win tonight's race.
Yeah, new decibel levels for my voice and probably just threw it out, but holy hell was that. I mean, there was so much happening in that last event and last lap that it was unreal, the amount of stuff that was taking place right now. 4 wide racing, like, holy moly, what do we do?
Well, we're going to review this. The 76 just completely he got sucked into a black hole in the outside wall. All matter obliterated off that truck. There's a 21 getting turned. I think that's by, I don't know. I can't see who that is.
That's by the 72, Gaston.
72. And then you see Holsey. He gets hooked up hard to the wall. You don't see the contact there. Then here comes the second wreck. It's going to bring Bobby Mantle, Gentner, quite a few others, Howard, JJ McCoy, Stephen
and
Hayes.
Caden makes it through there on the bottom. Makes it through. It tore his rear end off, and he was still able to maintain. He made it through that. We're going to have to go back and watch Caden Bullard's final lap on that one, trying to make it through, because further up we have situations going on. You see blocking there by the 34. He pushes Emmerich down. Raymond's on the top side right there. They're going into 3. Raymond gets hooked into his teammate. Off around goes everybody else. Thorpe Jr. thought he was in the clear until out of nowhere came Caden Jeremy, my goodness, man, we're going on board with Caden on that last lap because that was
Yeah.
a hell of a drive.
You start from from at the start finish line because the stats say Caden was 15th place, 15th at the white flag. So he goes from 15th to first in the final lap of this race. We're going to go on board and see how the hell Caden was able to pull this one off. Here we go. Monster Energy on board.
You're going to see the
take a look
contact.
at
The
it.
21 spins there. I don't know how he even makes it through here. They all wreck right there. Then you see more wreck in here. He cuts down from high line to low line to miss that carnage. And all he's doing right now is trying to draft pull. He has no idea what's going on, but all of that up there is just helping him because they're slowing him down. And then the turn 3 situation slows him down big time, and he doesn't lift. He stays in it all the way down to the apron, gets the draft pull on Thorpe, and the rest, as they say, Jeremy, is complete history.
We got to take a look at that turn 3 wreck too. Maybe a couple more angles to see what calls are made there. I think that's the last thing to review before we can calm down. And Peter on the chat saying, well, that was interesting. Excuse me while I'm learning to breathe again. That's what his words were. Dustin's going to regroup his vocal cords. Peter's going to learn how to breathe. And here we go. Maybe one final shot. This is the 23. We got to back it up. Nerd TV rewind. We're going to see what happened here because he was way below the double yellow. And we got to see if this was just kind of forced, kind of not.
He was going down, and he was going to be good. And then there would have been contact there if he would not have moved down. So he was
legal.
From our angles up here, Jeremy. That was good. He tried to re-merge back up as soon as he could. Didn't have the room because the 34 was there, and then the 34. That
driving into the 20.
Well, it almost looked like they came together because the 20 was trying to come down. He was getting pushed from the 28 there, and the 34 was going up, and they literally met right in the middle. And the rest is history on that. We know that the 20 went up into the 23 of Anthony Emmerich, took that out. 34 thought he was in clean sailing until, out of nowhere, Houdini himself, Mr. Where Did He Come From? 18 of Caden Bollard comes out of nowhere and just zip buys him.
Great effort to 34 to try to maximize any draft, but the delta was just too strong. Cleared him by a mile. 18 still sitting on start-finish line, basically. As we got 2 of our top 3 gathered up. Is Michael Thorpe ready? I think he is, but we're going to go over the unofficial results first. And then we might just jump right into it. Because, we spent all the time reviewing. These guys are ready to be interviewed, so let's see how we do this. Caden Bollard, 15th, the first on the final lap, started 26th. The most impressive drive tonight is going to be the 18 car. Second place, Michael Thorpe Jr., almost back-to-back victories here. Stephen Knight somehow finishes in 3rd. Danny White 4th, Mark Sherwood 5th. Justin LeBlanc in 6th. EJ Luna 7th, Chuck Cobb in 8th. Joshua Raymond 9th, and Bobby Mantle rounds out the top 10. 11th through 20th will be Michael Lester, Jacob Grant, Austin McGill, Anthony Emmerich in 14th, Matthew Escalera in 15th, John Howard, Shane Wielden, Dustin Franklin, JJ McCoy, and Jonathan Gaston round out the top 20. Everybody else one lap down or more. It's going to be Stephen Hayes, Noah Tansman, Ricky Hudgens, David Holsey, Patrick Gentner, Don Blazer, Jeff Weimer, Kenny Heath, Callum Bailey, Michael Hayes, Bradley Miner, Raj Mangipudi. That's it. 32 entries, and that it is. We're all finished up. Now the question is to Dustin, are we ready?
Let's make her happen, Captain.
All right. Cameras going live. 3rd place being brought up. For the Nerd TV post-race show, we've never done this straight from the unofficial results, but, first for everything here. Stephen Knight. Congrats on P3, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We don't know how anyone finished anywhere, so I'm not going to ask you that question. But,
Smoke and luck.
I think you were involved in a wreck, if I'm not mistaken, at one point, and then you were mid-pack for a while, and then you caught up a little bit. To kind of, basically the back half of the race, how did you manage to put yourself in a position to finish so high up in the field?
Uh, I got caught up in a squabble. Had 5.5 minutes of damage. I got it down under right at a minute, and it was just enough to stay in the draft. But I was struggling. Um, I was prepared to finish where I was, and then chaos happened, and somehow found a way through. uh,
Yeah, you did.
Nothing more than luck. That was exciting in the cockpit.
Yeah,
So
I was all on the thing for Caden Bullard, the winner of tonight's
yeah,
race. You went from 15th to first. What's even more impressive is you went from 21st to third
yeah.
on that last lap. You passed 18 trucks, sir. 18.
I
And
think
you,
I got an X. I may have had to go off track one time to pass somebody.
you know,
We'll allow it.
I just reviewed it. You did not get an X virtue of
didn't.
grass.
Okay, yeah, I
I
didn't
don't
go
know
in the
what
grass.
you did. I think you had
I wouldn't
contact with someone grazing your back bumper there in turn 2 or maybe in turn 3. I don't know. There was too much chaos, but man,
I'm
how
gonna
was that
say
race at Talladega?
that was fun. I watched Caden's ending, and his left turn there at that one point was huge. It was the game-winning turn.
The one when he went from high side to low side
Yes,
below the
yes. He just that was it. He won the race, and that was really fun. I enjoyed the race. I'm glad it was a lot cleaner for our group after our pre-race. We better be clean, right?
Yeah, we notated that 23 cautions quite a few times. Glad that was completely flip-flopped and you guys produced an amazing Talladega race here tonight. Man, Steven, congrats, man. That was good stuff there. Great teamwork from
hell
Grim
of a
Reaper as
drive.
always. Bringing it on P3. Any shout-outs you'd like to give out?
Sure thing. My teammates are the best. I wish they would have finished better. They were in great position, but a lot of great trucks got caught up in that and let people like me sneak through. But yeah, I love my teammates and I enjoy the league. Appreciate everybody around here. Thanks.
All right, there you go. He just said thanks everyone for wrecking and him to avoid them. Bringing home
I guess
P3 tonight.
I'll take it.
All right, Steven, we'll catch you next week.
Okay, man. Thank you. Bye.
Yep. That was the driver, the number 79, from 21st to 3rd. Is that guy, and now we're going to bring in second place, which I got to see where he was. Well, he was the race leader, so he didn't move much. But nonetheless, the man who almost goes back-to-back here this season, Michael Thorpe Jr. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, we doing good. We doing great. Last week was kind of an upside-down week for Global. Then this week, everything's righted up, and you guys did great. You in Austin, two truck team, just you two, and you guys were about front, I think, for the most part of the back half of the race. How'd you guys get hooked up so well, were able to maintain with only you and the 99 to work together with?
It's all about timing, and just me and Austin work good together on super speedways. Me and him actually have a good history of just being good on super speedways, especially Talladega. So it was, once we got hooked up and stayed towards the front, I knew we were going to be up there and just try to maintain it. And we lost it a few times, but we got back up there and tried to keep it, but didn't go as planned.
Yeah, I mean, you did everything you possibly could, right? You put yourself in a position, you led the second to last lap. You were there at the end. They just kind of, went high and low on you there on the back straightaway. Anything that you may have could have done different, knowing in hindsight now of that situation in turn 3?
I mean, not much I could have else done there. I mean, I was trying to block two teammates coming at me. I know the 20's pissed at me. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's whatever. We're racing for the win. I mean, I got to try something. But I blocked him, and he went up high. And I mean, I could have pulled a bigger block than that and turned myself into the wall, but I decided not to. I went down and blocked his teammate. He went below the line because he had a huge run, and the 20 got a shot from the 28, and that stood him down to me. So, I mean, nothing else I could have done there. I mean, I didn't mean to cause that. I know that's on me. But I got to give it to the 18 because he came out of nowhere. I was not expecting that.
15th to 1st on the final lap goes Caden in the 18. And by the way, after that little chaotic turn 3, hell of a save there on the apron. I thought you were going to spin it out, but you sawed the wheel and you corrected it. So excellent handwork there in turn 3. But any shout-outs you like to give out before we let you go this evening?
Michael Thorpe Sr. I knew he was going to be watching this and cheering me on. And Team TWRS and Guardian Autosport. I keep all these guys going, and they keep me going, so I want to have a big family. And I want to thank Ross the Raps, too, making this beautiful paint scheme.
Does look fantastic. I was eyeballing that scheme all night. It's a great looking truck, and Senior is proud of you, man. He almost went back to back. He was cheering you on multiple times throughout the entire race, even before the green flag flew for the first time. So, congrats on second place, and go get him again next week.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And that was Michael Thorpe Jr., newer voice to Global for this season, anyways. And Dustin, speaking of new voices, we've never heard this man before. Let's talk to him.
Let's
Icon
do.
Apparel Company, Victory Lane, for Caden Bullard. 15th.
Let's go.
Let's go, indeed. Sorry to cut you off there,
Dude.
man.
Yeah. 15th to first in one lap.
Talk about it.
Don't know how that happened. All I know is they started wrecking. I dipped down as low as I could through the grass. I don't know. I was everywhere, and then when I got back up on the track, they were going in front. They were gone. Thought it was over at that point. I'm like, whatever, it's over. And then they started wrecking, and I'm like, okay, let's keep going. And saw Thorpe on the middle area there, and I thought he was gonna block me and put me on the wall. Luckily, thank God he didn't. I appreciate it. But we went right around him on the outside and stormed to victory. I don't know. That was amazing.
My man didn't lift at all that entire last lap. That is my motto. White flag, I do not lift. I love it.
Oh no, not a single lift out of me on the last lap. I wasn't gonna lift, and I didn't lift through the rack. So no point for me to lift.
Literally, I was watching, we did a replay of your final lap on the roof camera, and I was just thinking to myself, I'm watching Cole trickle here in reverse because you went to the bottom instead of the top through the smoke. You couldn't see anything in front of you at one point, and you cleared everyone and everything between the huge wreck in turn 1 and turn 2 into the other wreck in turn 3. Man, what a drive there. Well, welcome to the league. You know, this is about as high as it gets here.
Second race. I raced
Second
at
race,
Homestead,
okay, yeah.
Finished. I finished like 5th or 6th.
The race I
Yeah,
missed.
5th.
That's why I did not recognize the name.
Yes. I raced Homestead, and then I was out last week because I went to NHRA. So I won't be here next week, but I will be here the following week after. Because IndyCar's in town. But I'm hoping to win another one, not a super speedway, because these are all just luck. I'm trying to win something for real to prove my talent. So I'm hoping so. I should have just finished the race in reverse. Honestly, I should have just turned it around, reversed it across the line. Days of Thunder,
I mean, you could have. I guess you could have locked it up, spun it around, but you did have Michael Thorpe kind of behind you. I don't know if you had too much room, but
I should have just did it.
he's the only one left, really.
Yeah, it was a second place finish.
Absolutely, man. Well, part-time schedule to start off the season. Maybe toward the back half we'll see you full-time. Who knows? But congratulations, the 18 truck in Victor Lane. Lunar Eclipse on YouTube. Not sure who that is in relation to you, but they were cheering you on, and man, they were excited to see you cross the line P1.
I'll see you in a few minutes, like 30 minutes.
A few minutes, aka a half hour.
We're gonna get
This
some
man
ice
needs
cream.
a shower.
We're gonna get some ice cream.
Gonna go get some ice cream. You want a global
that's right.
racing league truck series race? What are you gonna do? We're gonna go get some ice cream. I love
That's
it.
what we're gonna do.
You know what? Every league race now, I'm gonna have ice cream in my freezer waiting for me.
There you go.
Cookies and cream.
You know that flavor. That's that good stuff right there.
There you go.
All right, Caden. Go have some fun. Enjoy it. Go clean up. Enjoy that ice cream. Well deserved. And we'll catch
Thank
you
you,
in 2
team.
weeks.
Thank you, team. Whatchamacallit. Thank you.
There you go. That's Caden, the number 18. He's excited. I didn't have to ask him a question. Dustin, he just went right into it.
Did I love it? Love the excitement like that. It's that is amazing. I love it when the drivers get that excited about it. I mean that tells you how much they put into it. So, I mean this is more than just a hobby. I mean we as drivers we put a lot into it, and it feels great to get that dub, that victory, even if it's at Talladega and it involves luck. I will argue until I'm blue in the face with other drivers that run 1.5 mile tracks that it takes no talent to run super speedways. No, it does. It takes talent. It's just a different type of talent and skill than 1.5 mile or road racing. It's a different racecraft. So, you know what? Hats off to everybody. I mean, hats off to Caden. 15th to 1st. doing some reverse cold trickle stuff from the high side to the low side. I mean, you've seen it in victory lane. It was perfect timing. Lined it up when he made his move. I mean, there were so many close calls there. I mean, how about Stephen Knight? Like 21st to 3rd in that last lap. Just unbelievable, man. I mean, such a clean race, too. Only a couple cautions, Jeremy. I mean, amazing racing. 4 wide racing that didn't bring out a caution. Like, these boys held their shit together. That's what you expect from drivers like that. I mean, we seen about everything we possibly could with the... we even seen some trucks go airborne, so we literally seen everything we possibly could tonight. Mark every checkbox off for the Talladega Super Speedway event here for the Global Racing League Truck Series.
I almost feel like next Super Speedway race, Dustin, here we need a bingo card. Visual bingo card on the layout to check mark stuff. All the things we possibly can and can't see.
I love it.
That'd be, yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Not now, but we'll get there. We'll make it happen. And man, how do you close out a broadcast like this? That's insane. I learned I need ice cream, and I learned you need some luck more than I ever thought possible here at Talladega. 15th to 1st. What the hell is that? But Caden's gonna figure it out as he calms down for the night. And guys, we're gonna bring this thing to a close. Dustin, we had 32 drivers, and we had, I think, 43 viewers at one point live and concurrently. So you know you're doing well on this end of things on Sundays whenever we have more viewers than drivers. That's amazing all by itself. So love that. Appreciate y'all for joining in. And we're going to do it again here Wednesday. We're going to do it Wednesday here for the OP Grand National Series as they're going to tackle their next round of 8 race.
Second race.
And then second race of the round of 8. That's right. And then we're off on this Thursday. We have that alternating late model race, which could or could not be changing soon. Stay tuned. We might be going full time every Thursday, so we'll see. But then, yeah, Wednesday this week, and then back to Sunday for Bristol for the Global Racing League Truck Series. All right, guys, good night to you. Have a good night. Stay safe. Get your nerd on. Dustin?
As always, it's not goodbye. It's just till next time. Stay nerdy.
Back when